Alright, so for today's story of the day, I will tell you about the miracle, the answered prayer that God gave us when me and my wife first got married. We needed an apartment. What had happened was I was still living in that frat house. I was living in the basement of that frat house. My wife was living in her parents' house. Well, her grandparents' house. And so we were getting married, and we really didn't know how to get a new apartment or a place to live or anything. We knew you could look online and Google stuff and you know, look at the search results, but all those apartments and houses that were closed were so expensive. We couldn't. I was working as a home health CNA, and my wife was going to school, and I was also going to the community college at the time. So you know, we couldn't afford $500–600 a month for a house or an apartment, and that's all we could find at the time. So it was getting close to the wedding. We got married in September, so school started back in August, I think, late August. So school had started back, and of course the guys from the fraternity were at the house, and I was thinking, I can't have my wife, my newlywed wife, living in this frat house with me. So me and my wife, we prayed and we prayed and we prayed. We said, Lord, give us somewhere to live. Lord, we need a place to lay our heads that's not this fraternity house, so that we can, you know, we got to be able to afford it too, you know, so that we're not in this fraternity with a newlywed. So we got married on a Saturday, and we still didn't have a place to live at the beginning of that week. So it was about Wednesday. These two guys, who were actually members of the fraternity but they didn't live in the house, come up to me one day and they said, hey, we talked to the landlord, because my landlord and the landlord that owned the house the fraternity was on, also owned the apartment they lived in. Said, hey, we've talked to our landlord. We talked to the landlord, and said, even though we have a year lease, you know, we want to live in the house. We want to live in the frat house, which is understandable. You know, they were actually members and I wasn't. I said, but you live there. And I said okay, and they said, we want to change. We want your spot in the house, and we will give you our apartment, and you just finish the lease out, which was a year. And so the Lord definitely blessed me with that. But to sweeten the deal even more, one of the guys, before I even said yes, because I was going to take it anyways, one of the guys said, I will even give you $1,000 cash money to take this apartment, so that we can be in the frat house. So not only did the Lord provide us with our own apartment, granted it was a garage apartment, it was still ours. Not only that, but the Lord also got one of them other boys to give us $1,000 cash money to move into his apartment, so that he could have my spot in the frat house. So I know we prayed, I don't know how long we prayed about getting a place to stay. I prayed for a while, and I know my wife did too, but it was definitely an answered prayer that we got somewhere to live. And we got married on Saturday. We went to Great Wolf Lodge for our honeymoon for one night, because we both had to be, she had to be back at school and I had to be at work the next day. And so we went to Great Wolf Lodge for one night, and then when we got back on Sunday, we moved into our brand new apartment, and those guys moved into the frat house. And that was definitely a blessing, because I would have hated to have had my brand new wife living in a frat house with me. That would not have been fun. But that is Chris's story of the day, or short story of the day. Thank you much.